What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video and back with my personal favorite series that I've done here on the channel, and that is the Life After Raid series. And as you can see, folks, we've got ourselves a juicy guest here, the one and only Shini. Shini, how you been, dude? It has been a while, bro.
What's up, guys? I'm doing good. Like half of the people have been asking, "Am I dead? Am I just bored with games or anything like that?" I'm not. I'm not dead, obviously. I'm still
Yes, we're,
playing
we're happy
games.
about that. We're
I've been
happy about
planning to.
that.
I've been planning to come back to Raid for a long time, and I tried to do it multiple times, but I never did. But I'm still here. So what's up?
All right. So you just got the cat's out of the bag. You're planning to come back. This is a video about why you left, and then also maybe about why you're going to come back. So we'll get into that in a little
Mm.
bit. But I think first things first. I mean, it's been probably 7 or 8, maybe 9 months since you've made a video. I think. Do you know specifically?
Yeah, it's like 10 months ago. I decided to take 1 month break from the game. And then I did like couple videos after that. I think maybe in December I did my last one. So let's say like 8 months from last video. But like when I was actively making videos like every day or like at least 5 days a week, that's like 10 months ago. So I've almost had a year break from Raid. And I also stopped playing Raid like 8 months ago. I was still playing Raid maybe like couple of months after I quit. But then I completely quit the game because, well, we can get to it later, I guess. But every
Well,
now and then I've come back for like a week or a couple of days, but I haven't been actively playing for like 8 months, let's say.
well, let's talk about that. So you say that you intended to take only a 1 month break, but then it became this longer time period. Are you comfortable sharing why you stepped away? I'm curious as to what that reason would be, if you're comfortable sharing it, and if
Yeah,
not, no
yeah,
worries.
yeah. Yeah, you can ask anything. Maybe I don't want to answer everything, but like pretty much everything. Um, well, I was just like really busy in like real life, and I was also kind of frustrated with the game. There was like some specific in-game issues, like the balance didn't feel like the usual stuff. But I was frustrated with the game. There was this I don't know how much we should talk about it on video, but there was something, some kind of cheating going on in the game that I was super not happy about because it
Oh,
was affecting PvP.
I'm
And
not aware of this. There was another cheating scam. Okay, this is interesting because I did not know about this. I understand if you don't want to get into it, but I know of the
I can get
original
into it.
cheating. Yeah, the cheating scandals back in the day I know of, but not anything in the last year.
Not boosting. This was some type of well, you can cut parts out that you don't think should be talked on video, but there was a hack that would speed up the game. Let's say there was a
Okay.
program, and this made me not happy about it. So,
Well,
but
that's
I was
happened
very
before
busy in.
though, right? Isn't that's because
Yeah,
there was in the past, was it
yeah.
not?
Yeah, no, many times. It was cheat engine was the big thing back in
Yeah.
the day, but there was a new thing that was very convenient and easy to set up, and it became more popular. That wasn't like the main issue. That was like one of the several issues.
Okay.
Game balance, tired of the game, playing it for a long time. There was a big hack that made PvP like made me like feel like I can't I can't improve or progress or compete anymore. And then I was like really busy in real life, and I had to take like 1 month break so that I could focus on my like real life work. And then I was supposed to come back, but once you like quit for a bit, it's kind of hard to come back because I feel like okay, now I'm like 2 months behind, and what can I do? And I still got like stuff to do. And there was another game that I started playing, another MMO. But basically, like that was the original reason why I quit, and I was meant to come back, and I never did come back. And
Mm.
it's not like I don't like the game. I really like this type of games, and I've been meaning to come back for a long time. And my mindset has always been that I played this like game for like 5 years or whatever. If I'm like 6 months off and then I come back, it's whatever, and like
Yeah.
everybody else has done it. So but I wasn't meant to take like a year break. It was only going to be like 1 month or maybe a couple extra weeks, not like 10 months. So
Okay. Well, I'm excited to hear that you're going to be coming back. We'll figure out when that specifically is at the end of the video, and that way you guys have a real incentive to stick around. But we'll ask you some questions here. Some of the things that I'm always curious about when I have a guest on, and I guess the first thing is, um, how'd you get into Raid initially, and what made you want to start creating content for it?
that's very long time ago. The second part I remember exactly why, but I don't honestly remember. Well, actually, I don't remember I think so. Like I'm a big MMO gamer. I don't know if you are or not. I don't think
Animal
I've talked about
game.
MMOs.
MMO.
No,
I thought you said animal gamer, and I was like, oh, I've
no, no.
been. What
MMO.
is an animal
I
gamer,
know.
Shitty?
I have a scuffed Finnish accent. MMO. Have you played these types of games?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you're familiar with Star Wars Galaxies, but that was my favorite MMO
Not
back in
very.
the day, long time ago. Yeah.
I know of it, but I haven't never played it. But I played a lot of MMOs. Like I played some other stuff. Like I know what's his name? The other guy that you made video with. He liked to play real time strategy games.
Mac
I
Chan or
used to play a lot
Chosen?
of Chosen. I meant
Chosen.
Chosen. I guess Maxchan too. Yeah, Maxchan would make sense. But oh, you made a video about like why you quit with Maxchan.
I did. Yeah, exactly. Hey,
Oh,
here's
I
another
need to watch it.
advertisement, guys.
That's
There's a
interesting. By
video
the way,
like this with Mac Chan, and there's also one with Chosen, and now we got this one with Shitty. So this is great. Great free advertising for this series. Thanks, Shitty.
but by the way, Maxchan is kind of part of the reason for the second part of your question. But basically, I used to play a lot of real-time strategy games like
Mm.
Heroes of Might and Magic, Settler, Age of Empires, these types of games when I was growing up. But I was also playing a lot of MMOs like World of Warcraft, RuneScape, many other Elder Scrolls Online. I played like more than 15 MMOs, and there was an MMO which launched the exact same time that I took the break, which is Throne and Liberty.
Wait, what is it called?
So Throne and Liberty. That game is kind of dying. It's not.
Okay,
It's been one year into the game or almost 10 months, and it's not massive success. But I'm still playing that.
got it. So this is what we have to
Wait.
blame for your big disappearance. Is this MMO? What, Fallen Liberty? What the hell is it called?
No, Throne and Liberty.
Throne and
Like a king
Liberty.
sits on a
Throne and Liberty.
yeah,
Is that what
king
it
sits
is?
on a throne.
Ah, okay,
Yeah. So
okay. Got it.
anyway, so like I've been playing MMOs for a very long time. I played many MMOs like in between, like even during raid times. I played multiple MMOs that launched and failed, like Albion Online, Bless Online, couple others. But the, I used to be a big fan of Black Desert Online, which was
Mm.
a big game that I played for. I don't remember how long exactly, but there was a period of couple years where I didn't have any MMO games, and I was mostly just playing different types of RPG games. I think I played another gacha too. I forgot what it's called. This is very long time ago. This maybe like a year or two before Raid. But basically, I didn't have an MMO game that was the thing that I'm most into, and then I stumbled into Raid, and it's not exactly MMO, but like ish, let's say. And there was lots of the kind of mechanics like team building and strategy and progression that I was into. So I kind of started playing it because I had no game to play, and then I got super into it. And the reason why I started making content, so I started playing Raid from the beginning, even before the official release, and I played the game. I don't know 3 or 4 years before I made any videos. I had not done any videos for any other game or anything like that, and it was not my original intention to make games. But I'm like PvP focused player. I'm very competitive. I want to progress, be efficient, but more into PvE than PvP. Into PvP than PvE.
Yeah,
And there was couple content creators that I really liked. Machan is maybe the main one. Machan used to be my favorite one, but
me
he kind
too.
of quit the game long time ago.
Yeah, he was my favorite as well. Mac Chan was my favorite. I really liked Boomer as well. We'll have to get Boomer on the
Yeah,
channel at some point. But yeah, Mac Chan was the guy that got me deeper into raid PvP for sure.
yeah, I was into it, but what I really liked about Machan, for instance, he made very like specific, detailed guides that nobody else was making at the time. People, made the daily vlog type of videos that you used to make, that people normally make for these types of games.
Hmm.
But there was not lots of like specific like PvP guides because it's very, you know, small portion of the players that are like trying to get rank 1 or top 100 in platinum or anything like that. But there was him and a couple others that I liked. Manibal. Did you play when Manibal was still playing?
I didn't.
I
He's
don't
someone that's
remember.
come up a couple times in these conversations,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, he was before my time because I started in 2021. But definitely a creator whose name I've heard many times, both in the comments and from other creators.
Yeah, there's one more that I really would want to shout out and say his channel, but I can't remember his name. It's another Asian guy. He had like a very small channel, but he made like the most specific videos anybody has ever made for like Raid. He made like a list of all the champions that are in meta and why are they meta in PvP, and like
You don't
maybe I
remember
can
the
find it
name?
with.
We got to find this guy's
But
name so we can give him some love.
I made like a video with exact same name of one of his videos, which was one of my first videos that I made, just like as like homage to him. Let me see if I can find it.
Well,
One of his
speaking,
videos called
yeah,
something like Ultimate Defense Guide for Arena or something like that. Wait,
I love that
it's a
you
very
remember the specificity here.
well, because I literally made a video. Like I haven't asked him permission. Can I copy your video? Because I thought it was really good video. It was very good for new players that were was
Hmm.
like getting into arena. It explained the meta champions and why they are played together and why they are meta and so on. I really loved it. And basically, the reason why I started making content is because all the content creators that I really liked, like this guy. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. Him and Manny Ball quit, and I think Macchen quit or like started playing less by the time that I started making videos. Maybe he quit already. I forget the details.
I feel like you were making videos before Mac Chang quit because he quit. I would say like
I,
a year and a half ago now, 2 years
oh,
ago.
oh, wait, I found it. I found the video.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
It's you will definitely not understand the letters if I say it. I'll link it to you. W and trans 1835.
Oh,
Show his
this sounds familiar. Actually, hold on. I can't really.
because it's probably because I've mentioned it to people like hundreds of times.
I think you
But
have. Yeah, WN Trans 1835. Yeah, you've mentioned this guy to me before because I was like, I've definitely heard this
look,
name for sure, and I'm pretty
look,
sure you're the one who mentioned it.
yeah, look up this video. I sent you another picture. This is the video that I'm referring to. It was very good video. It was kind of like, let's say, a PowerPoint representation about the PvP meta, but nobody else was doing videos like these, and it was very informative and like factually correct,
Mm.
and I really loved it. So because it felt like nobody else was making these kind of videos, and I was really popping off in arena at that time, I felt like maybe I should actually start making videos, and I was kind of joking about it originally, but it was like ironically true that like my plot was that I could make some guides and then I could get the free monthly games because I probably could get maybe enough like I know it's a meme, but that was literally my plan. My plan was to get enough subscribers to get the
The content
1000
creator
weekly
pack,
games
yeah,
that you
the 1,000
yeah.
gems or whatever it is, or 500. I can't remember what the hell it is. Yeah, the content creator pack. That's great. I love that.
Exactly. And because like people probably might not remember me because it's like so long ago, but like I was very low spender. I didn't
Yes.
I had spend in the game. I played this game for 5 years and I spent like 1.3k, so that would be a lot in some terms, but it's not a lot if you finish like rank 2 in arena multiple times, which I did. And yeah, I felt like I would have like I wanted to make the type of content I wanted to watch, that I used to watch, that people like Manibal and Machan and W and Trans stopped making. And I also thought that people might listen or watch my videos because I was like doing really well in arena and doing kind of stuff that nobody else was basically doing. So
Yeah, that's it's funny you mentioned that. So first and foremost, I'll link, by the way, guys, for you watching, I'll link WN Trans's channel below and the specific video that Shini is talking about. So you can actually see the video that inspired him to become a Ray creator. But also, that kind of leads me into my next thing, which is, you were kind of known as being a high end PvP player, but not
yeah.
someone who had spent a ton of money in the game. As you said, not free to play, but not super far off it when you consider how much people have spent in Raid. Do you think
Mm.
that is? Is that what you're most proud of accomplishing as a content creator? Like, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment as a content creator in the time that you were active?
Well, I don't know if me like ranking high in arena would be like something proud to be as content creator. I'm just proud of it like as a competitive player. But I mean, it's a little bit cringy to say what you're proud of your videos. But let's say that I'm not like the best speaker. I'm not like the well. I'm not the best at anything, but I am into competing. And I was trying to make the type of videos that I would want to see, like guides, because people don't really make a lot of PvP guides in Raid. That used to be a content that there's like one content creator at a time that does videos for it, if even that. But by the way, if we talk about Raid accomplishments, just so you know, I mean, you know this, but I don't know if like maybe most people watching don't remember. I finished twice rank 2 with Gala as my main damage dealer in arena. So that's the kind of stuff that I was doing. I know that it was like specific time and place, and you definitely couldn't like compete for like top 3 with like epic champions at this point. But I used to do this kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
that's maybe my most proudest stuff in Raid, not as like content creator, but as Raid player, let's say.
sure. It's
Also,
interesting to because
let,
it shows you
let me
how.
say this
Mhm.
sorry,
Yeah.
in Throne and Liberty, just a little bit sideflex. In Throne and Liberty, also, it's MMO, but in there too, I've been like rank 2 in arena. I was like 2 weeks in row, rank 2, like 2 weeks ago or a month ago. I was two
Okay.
weeks in row
Okay.
rank
So
2.
so
So
you've been
I'm very
cooking.
competitive there.
You've been
I'm the
cooking.
highest
Yeah.
rated. I'm the highest rated staff player in like arena in Throne and Liberty. Been for like very long time, and last I think 3 seasons when the seasons ended, I was the highest ranked staff user every time. So
I love
I'm
that.
very competitive, a little bit flex and like like proud, but this
Hey,
kind of
no,
stuff, yeah.
there's nothing wrong with sharing that. You know what I mean? As someone who also got into the competitive side of raid and things like that, it's a big deal to be able to finish that high, especially in Platinum Arena back then. And it also just goes to show how much has changed, right? Like how much the meta has changed. And you mentioned this earlier as being part of why you stepped away, but we'll get into that in a second. But when you were creating your content, was there a particular moment that was kind of like your big break or a video that really resonated that kind of made it more of a reality for you? I'm curious as to what your big moment was that catapulted you into the raid consciousness, because I think a lot of people who follow raid content creators or watch raid content would be aware of who you are. Certainly I'm sure we'll hear in the comments down below, but curious if there's a moment you can point to that's like, yeah, that was the Shinny moment where people started to know who I was.
Uh, I think there was like obviously I'm not as big like let's say Hell Hades or Chosen or anything like that, and PvP videos are a more niche content. Let's say, I mean, you're well aware of that,
I am.
but I would actually say that I had maybe a little bit opposite start than maybe like most other people that like because if you look at my like first, I don't know, my maybe like 10-20 videos, it's just me pushing pushing for arena and not talking, no camera, just music and me pushing for like like in arena for the platinum push. That was my original videos, and actually those videos were popping off more than I was like expecting to.
Hmm.
I was just trying to get like the whatever you need for 1000 weekly games, and I wanted to like show my, because people like often asked about my strategies and teams and so on. I made like full uncut videos of my platinum arena offense and defense teams, and you could see the battles and logs and so on. And those videos got like, let me double check, I don't remember, like my first video got like 4.8k views. So actually my like first videos were already doing okay, and then I made like, I'm looking like 10 videos of me just pushing for Platinum Arena. And then I started making guides. And at this point, I actually didn't speak very like good English. It was really hard to make videos originally because I was considering if I would use like some kind of like voice translator to make the videos because I was
Oh
so
wow.
uncomfortable speaking English. I actually asked multiple people about it, like what programs they recommend and so on. And if you listen to my old videos, don't really listen to them, but if you listen to my old videos, I sound way worse than I sound right now, even if I'm not like a godly voice like Drock
well,
is. So
your native language, what? Finnish? Are you Finnish? Right? Finland?
I'm, yeah, I'm half Finnish, half Cyprian, but yeah, or Cypriot,
Okay,
however you
interesting.
say it in English. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very cool. So you had these videos, you were concerned about your English, but you did it anyway, and it kind of just
Yeah,
worked.
I wanted to make guides basically. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. I love that. It's always interesting to hear how people ended up getting into it, and for this series, of course, why they stepped away. You answered this a little bit, but I think it's worth asking again. So you mentioned you haven't really played over the last 10 months, right? Like you've logged in maybe once or twice. Is that correct?
More than once or twice, but I used to play this game for, I don't know, like 4 hours a day at least. There was a couple times that I played it for a couple weeks, but I haven't like actively finished my daily stuff and so on. And now it's maybe like month since I was last playing. So
Are you still in a clan?
no, I had a clan. It was like, my clan for, like basically the people that want to push arena, but
Hmm.
are not like massive spenders because I used to be in Mad for I forget the details, but I was in Mad for multiple years,
Yes.
and eventually, I understand how things go, and all of the non-spenders got weeded out. Like there was multiple other like even what's his name? Who's the British guy? I think Pakistani British guy who was in
I'm not
Mad who makes
sure, but
videos.
I can't remember
The,
who, but
ok-
certainly I know what you're talking about because pretty much
the,
the gap between spenders and non-spenders got larger and larger and larger over the last several years for sure.
yeah, basically they started kicking us noobs out at one point, and I wasn't like contributing to the CVC and stuff, which is totally fair. Like they were kind of carrying me super hardcore in that department, which we only used to care about how high you place and that you actively push in arena, but they kind of made the game so that you also need to perform in other areas like
Yes.
PvE, like the what you call it, Hydra and other stuff. And I was okay in Hydra, not like carrying the team, but that wasn't the issue. But I was a big liability in the CVC, so I basically eventually they asked me to leave, and at that point I made my own clan. The point was that it's PvP clan, but not like we're not trying to like force any spending or like limits on the CVC score or anything like that.
Mm.
And we were like basically changing the clan every like month or so that we get like easy opponents and we can cheese the CVC and still get the accessories. That was basically my idea. And the clan still seems to live on, which I'm honestly kind of surprised to them. Shout out to Arena Enchires. I guess they're called, I think they renamed just now to Arena Titans, maybe. But
Okay.
like uh my clan is still up actively. I joined it like maybe like a month ago, but then I was like very inactive on summer and they weeded me out. And I basically, there was like a weekend where I was not home and I was not playing because I was like on a boat fishing, and they kicked me out, and for understandable reasons that I wasn't active. And then I basically, okay, I'm not like playing again. I kind of took a summer break because of that, but I'm still when I get back to the game, I'll try to get back in my clan if they'll have me. So,
Well, let's
or my
talk about
original
that
clan.
now
So
because this is the first time I've had a guest on who's stepped away from content creation, stepped away from Raid, who's talking about coming back. So I'm really curious. Um, what's bringing you back? Like, do you miss certain aspects of being a Raid creator? Do you miss the community, or what's inspiring this desire to jump back in? Because usually when people walk away from Raid, they walk away from Raid, right? Like they are done. So I'm curious as to what's bringing you back in.
it's a little bit of everything, but like let's say that the reason why I stopped playing Raid was not like I didn't enjoy the game, but I wanted to play another game and I was busy in real life at the same time, and I was very frustrated with the game and it's very time consuming. But it's a type of game that I'm very into. Like I like coming up with strategies and building teams and this kind of stuff. It's like actually like bring it back to Throne and Liberty. But in Throne and Liberty, for instance, my build is something that nobody else does in the game, and my weapon combo is like my own stuff. I'm playing Staff and Greatsword,
Hmm.
which is not like considered like it's a joke combo, like basically nobody else plays it. And this was the kind of stuff that I liked in Raid too, that you can come up with your own stuff and you can do things in different ways. And obviously, you don't maybe not everybody wants to do things like worse than other people if they have the good champions to do the good teams, but you can come up with cheese strategies sometimes to like do different content. And this kind of um, strategizing and innovation is very interesting to me, let's say. So that's maybe the main thing. And obviously, because Raid has like Platinum Arena and Live Arena and so on, I'm really into PvP. So basically like team building, like strategy, and then like the RPG elements and the like PvP, let's say.
Well, this is interesting getting into PvP and as someone who's enjoyed it in the past. So obviously taking such a long time off from the
Wait, are
game.
you PvE player
Hell
now?
no, I hate PvE. No, PvP, PvP. Sorry if I
Okay,
said
maybe.
PvE.
No, no. You said you enjoyed it in the past, or you meant me. I was
No, I
confused.
enjoyed
Sorry.
PvP is what I meant to say. Sorry, I hate PvE. I always enjoyed PvP, or I enjoyed it more in the past, I should say. until it became more RNG based, which is what it feels like right now. It's extremely RNG based. But I guess my question for
Tell
you
me
is,
about it.
I'll tell you about it. But my question for you is that having taken such a long time off, and as someone who's a very competitive player, and you know, like you mentioned, you know, you finished second twice in Platinum Arena. I remember those times. I think it was when Polymorph had just come around. You were one of the first people to understand how powerful Polymorph was. You were also someone who I think was known for using stuff like frost sets or frostbite sets, or you know, things that weren't people weren't considering at the time. At least that's my I believe that's correct according to my memory.
It's no, it's correct.
Yeah, so like you had some unique, interesting strategies. So I guess my question to you now is the power creep in this game is massive. I mean, it is a different level than it was a year ago. It's certainly a different level than it was 2 years ago. Mythicals tend to dominate most arena things. Do you have any concerns about being able to enjoy the game as someone who probably doesn't have relics or many of them, which is another thing that's come into the game, of course. I would imagine doesn't have a bunch of mythicals. Um, will you be able to enjoy playing raid PvP if you're at a significant disadvantage in how things work now?
Yeah, so like I mentioned those several other things that I had as reasons for quitting, but that was definitely the main reason
Hmm.
that I felt that like my account wasn't competitive enough to like compete anymore. And like, I used to like always be like high rank, and now, can I even finish platinum arena anymore? Like, can I get platinum? It was very demotivating, and I was missing, all the key champions and just playing like, fusions and so on. So yeah, that part sucks. That's like the reason, honestly, that has kept me from like coming back to it, because it's gonna be so hard like to get back to it if I ever can compete in PvP. We'll see about that. But I was honestly thinking that because I enjoy the game so much, and I often think about like when am I gonna like start playing raid again. I feel like if I come back, um, you know, I could maybe like make some kind of video series about like trying to come back to raid and getting back to the competitive mode, and that probably would be like fun, and it would like motivate me to get the game. But I don't like get back into the game and progress on my account. But honestly, I don't know if I will ever be able to compete. Like, you probably would know more about it than me because you've been playing recently. But when I quit 10 months ago, it felt really hard to like compete with people. So
Yeah,
like
it's
I was
interesting.
getting like maybe top 300 or something like that when I push, and I missed it several times, and I was very very depressed about missing platinum several times.
Sure.
So
I would be very interested to see that journey of you coming back. I think certainly it is significantly harder to compete now as a non-spender than it would have been in the past, with the exception of RNG still plays a very large role, or a much larger role in fights than it has in the past, and that can absolutely benefit you. Think polymorph, think wand submission, things of that nature. Um, the game has drastically changed in many ways, though, where you know will you be able to compete in arena? I'm not sure. The one thing that might help you is they're just introducing, I think this weekend, maybe they did last weekend, I honestly can't remember, but they're just introducing a fully blind arena mode, which I personally asked for
I heard about
many
this.
yes, I asked for many years. Like, can we
Obviously, me.
please,
Yeah.
yeah, like give us a blind arena mode in classic arena. What's the point otherwise? Because it just ends up being clan versus clan basically in arena. It sucks. And you know that, and we
But
talked a little bit about this earlier, but the boosting stuff and the other crap and the cheating was exacerbated by the fact that people could see who the heck they were fighting and all these other things. So that's just about to come into the game. I'm really curious how that plays. I think that will potentially help you. I feel like you could still finish platinum. I'm pretty certain you could still finish platinum. I don't think you would have a chance, barring a major luck shift, of coming anywhere close to the top 10 to 15 again, because you know some of these mythicals are so incredibly strong, some of these legendaries as well now too that they've put in recently.
uh, I
Neve,
heard the
you know,
sorry.
I was gonna say Neve is an example of that. Like it's like it's no longer a Taurus Marichka meta for sure, so you still see them, but some of the mythicals are just busted in a completely different way.
Yeah, I don't have Taras and Maritzka. That was one part that like made me frustrated about the game. But even when before I quit, they kind of already shifted out of the meta. But I heard the Rooster got buffed, and I have him, so that's one thing. I don't know
He
if
did.
he is actually top tier. Yeah, is
I
he top tier? Tell
I
me.
wouldn't say that he's top tier, but he's certainly usable now. Like he's good for sure. You can use
Mm.
him, and he's good in certain comps. And like the top tier heroes or champions. Like, well, I'll just put it on screen so people can see, and I'll tell you at the same time. But champions like Nice, Nice is absolutely absurdly busted. Still,
Wait,
Theodosia is
is
really
nice the
good.
fusion that I missed? It's the lockout
No,
fusion,
no,
right?
Nice is not the fusion. No, Nice is a mythical champion, Sylvan Watcher, who's still absurdly busted. Neve, who's spelled
Oh yeah, that
Niamhe.
one.
Neve, super busted.
Yeah, yeah.
Nell now. Nell busted. But like there's still champions like I can't remember. Did you ever get a Marius when you were playing or not?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, I
So
have Marius.
Marius still extremely good, but you look at champions like Galathier, Nice, champions like, certainly Marichka is still very much in the meta, someone you see all the time by herself. Certainly you'll see her with Taurus still at the same time. Theodosia, um, Empress, like Empress you could hypothetically get. You just have to play longer. So I'll be very curious to see what you're capable of doing coming back. I think the blind arena mode will help you for sure in classic arena. I think you'll still be able to compete in some levels of live arena if you have an interest in doing that. Um, but it is certainly harder in many ways, especially with how some of these mythical champions have changed the way things work. And yeah, again, like you don't have a Marichka. I'm looking here through, you can't see my screen at the moment, but I'm looking here through the top arena teams right now. It's a Sunday. So it is reset day, and you've got Marichka in almost every single one of them. Um,
Yeah.
so, and then you've got Nice, and you've got Galathier, and you've got all these champions that you're not going to have. So it will be interesting to see what you're able to accomplish, because it certainly has shifted. I will be following the journey for sure. Do you have like a time of when you're thinking of coming back? Are we thinking in the next week, month?
No,
What do we,
no. Okay, literally next week. I had like some things like
okay.
like I couldn't do the video like yesterday, and like like I moved place. I had like some family visiting me just this weekend, but I
Mm-hmm.
moved place like um I had like really bad internet. That
Mm.
by bad I'm talking about like less than 5 like mega download speed and less than 1 upload speed, and the latency was like 500 plus, and sometimes the internet is not working at all. So it was like completely unfeasible to make videos because I couldn't stream. If I uploaded a video, it would take me like, I don't know, like literally like 48 hours to upload one video and this
Oh
kind of
no.
stuff. So I just couldn't do it. But I got the internet this week. Now I can make videos and stream again. So now it would make sense. And now I also have the time to do it. So
Okay, so
I
this is
should
great.
honestly,
This
this video was good. Like you asked about this maybe like I don't remember, like 1 month or 2 months
I
ago,
did.
maybe 2 months
Hmm.
ago, and I said then let's not do it because I'm planning to come back.
Yep.
But maybe this video is good because now I had to set up everything and I opened Raid and I was looking at stuff. So
I've
now it's easier
motivated
to
you.
come back.
I've brought you
Yeah,
back, brother. This video can be your announcement of
I think so.
returning. Life after Raid, which was only roughly 10 months, but now life with Raid, it's coming back. And it's going to be fun to
Uh,
watch you try to compete. I'm really curious to hear from your perspective and what you think of the game as it's changed, because certainly again, not having relics, not having some of these champions, hell, even the gear sets, like you're not going to have a bunch of pinpoint and stuff like that. Trying to compete
yeah,
without that stuff is hard as hell. So it's going to be interesting.
I don't have any relics. And by the way, Nice was in the game before I quit, and
Yes.
he was already meta back then. So I guess it hasn't changed that much if it's still like Maritska and Nice and this kind of stuff. But obviously, I'm sure there's like some new super champions or something that is super relevant. And I don't have any relics, so it's gonna take definitely some time to catch up. But what were you saying about the blind arena before, by the way? I heard about this like earlier this week, which also made me like super interested about it.
Yeah.
And that's why when you asked if we want to make video, it was like in my head that okay, now I have to come back because
It's good
we're
timing.
making the video and they're doing the blind arena. And funny story, like I'm sure you have done the same and like all PvP like related content creators in Raid. But when I got into the Raid content creator program, I was like being like an activist, and I'm sure very annoying to like Banana Jam and those people. Sorry about this, but I was always like t- at the start, not later on, but at the start, I was like tagging them and telling them what I think they should do for like PvP balance. And I'm
Hmm.
sure I've tagged them like many times about Blind Arena. I used to just tag them and annoy them about like stuff that they should fix in the game. So
Well, I mean,
I
you
was
to say, I'm very well known for hating polymorph. I still hate it, by the way. I still think it should have been balanced
y-
better. It's not as much of a
yeah.
problem as it was then, but it's still a problem because now it's just a different type of RNG. Now you've got wand of submission, which basically just reflects it. So now you're just reflecting different debuffs back. Like honestly, in my personal opinion of the state of PvP and raid is it's the worst it's been in many ways. Like it's better
Oh,
in that you have more variety of champions you can use. Like that's certainly better, but it's also worse in that there is just such an absurd amount of RNG in battles now. It's like it's just ludicrous the amount of RNG between the relics. You don't know what the relics are, so you don't know you're going to fight. You have no insight into what's coming. So it's also very tough to know what's happened as well because there's nothing on screen that tells you like Wanda submission proct or like aspect of Sarath proct. You're trying to figure all this out with a couple of seconds at most, trying to understand what's happening, which is super tough. So I'll be very curious to get your perspective on that as well because I do think there's more RNG in this game than ever before, and it doesn't seem to do any slowing down. They just keep adding layers and layers and layers of this shit. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, as you probably can tell. Some RNG
I
good, this much RNG too much. But yeah,
yeah. Honestly, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm honestly surprised that they are doing this because people have been asking this for years from them. And I don't know if it's like a good thing or bad thing that they're doing it at this moment. But in my mind, at least, not knowing the current state of the game well, it does sound, I guess, nice, very late. Like people were asking this for years ago.
yeah.
But it's very nice if they actually do blind arena. And I
It's
always
every other
argued
week, by the way. It's not every week. Just to give you some more info, which makes zero sense, but it's every other week at
oh,
least to start, which is whatever.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, so like I don't know how much like the current players like if it's still a thing or do they know about this, but arena like people considered like classic arena or platinum arena pushing like a mafia that were there were a couple clans that were the top guys and they were hitting other people and not themselves, and there has been multiple clans that were on top over the years, like Mad used to be, but even before that there was like the Ancient Order and
yep,
Gods and Legends and so on,
yep,
and people always consider that like basically the top clans maybe don't want Blind Arena because it might benefit them not to have it.
sure.
And everybody else keeps asking Blind Arena for that reason. But I think there's another reason why I always argued why we should get Blind Arena that would basically, in my opinion, benefit the good players, like the ones that come up with stuff and are innovative. Because at least how it used to be when I was playing is that you can see the other people's teams and you have like different teams that counter different teams, and you only hit the teams that you can kill really fast and you have like almost 0% chance to like lose to, and that means that those mega whales that have the meta champions and everything, they will hit the easy teams and they will kill them in a couple of seconds, and
Yes,
it's impossible to compete with that. But if you don't know what you're fighting against and you pick the wrong team, you might get destroyed and lose. And you need to use maybe slower teams that are more like universal and have like can beat many types of teams and not just one specific team that you're like specializing into, like winning. People were using like specific teams to beat teams that they like counter with those, and the fights are very fast. But those teams are not like in vacuum strong teams that they use in offense. They can just kill one specific team really fast, and it kind of I feel like gives advantage to those people that have every champion in the game and
sure.
can make the meta teams. And obviously, when I was doing my best, I also had specialized teams that would beat certain types of teams, and I wouldn't attack anything else with them. But if we do blind arena, maybe you can do more unique stuff again, and you can have like some kind of maybe it's not gonna be unique stuff. Maybe it's just gonna be Rotos and Sifi, and again we'll see. maybe the meta thing is just gonna be double Rotos and Sifi like it
Well,
was at one
to
point. But
to be clear too, so with Blind Arena, you'll still be able to see the team, right? So you'll still know what you're facing. You'll see the champions. You're just not going to know whose account it is. You won't see their
they
account.
half-assed it then.
You won't see like their trophies. You won't see their clan. So you'll still see the
Can
team.
you can you see can you see their like masteries or their like polymorph and stuff? Can you see them?
I think you should still be able to see that. Yes, that will still be visible.
Okay.
But keep in mind, there's plenty of stuff you
Well,
won't see normally, which is relics. Like you're not going to see what relics are on people, so there's plenty of surprises. But at least this way, like I personally, you talk about wanting this for a long time. I advocated for this
mm,
3 or 4 years ago when I first started getting into PvP because if you weren't in a top clan, it basically was. I'm not going to say
same.
impossible, but it was pretty damn close to impossible to win consistently, even if you had a stacked roster, even if you had good strategies. It's just like you would get brutalized by clan members trying to protect whomever they selected to win that week. It really sucked. It made the game very unfun when it came to classic arena for sure. And to be fair, it wasn't all the time, but I mean, there was a period of a year or more where certain, like you mentioned, certain clans, if you weren't in that clan, you just weren't going to win. Like it was as simple as that.
Yeah,
You were going to lose.
a- and it works in reverse too. Like, let's say you have like a really strong defense team, and people know that you have strong defense team, they will not attack you. And
Yes.
so I feel like it will be more fair. But honestly, if you're gonna see the champions, I feel like it's a little bit half-assed. I wish you couldn't see the champions because that would
Oh
make
man,
it more
you want it
interesting.
completely blind? You can't see anything? Oh
No,
nah, you're
I wanted
crazy. You're
yeah, I wanted
crazy.
complete blind. Yeah,
Because then
you
how
need
are
to
you
do a
supposed to
random matchup.
strategize? You're just going in completely
That's
random.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Then you can't have like hyper specialized team that can only beat one specific team, but it does it really fast. You need to have more universal team that can beat as many meta setups as possible, let's
Okay,
say,
okay. I can
and
understand
that
that.
would make it like harder for everybody. And I think it would shift the meta, and people would have to come up with new stuff. And I'm sure some like unique personal stuff like
You'd have
I
to
used
play
to do as well.
safer,
So
basically. You'd have to play a very safe team to your point. I personally
yeah,
would
which
never want
would
that
make it slower. Yeah.
because I hate the amount of RNG that's already present in relics because you don't know what relics people have and they are transformative in terms of what they do. And it's very frustrating to be like, oh my God, what the hell just happened? I don't even know. I probably wouldn't hate it as much if I at least knew like what is occurring where
Mm.
where you're guessing, but I can see that like it definitely would force a meta change for sure. And definitely things would have to be played way safer without a doubt. But it's going to be interesting. I'm glad we're having this conversation now because it's the perfect time for you to come back as someone who enjoys arena. This is a big shift. They should have done this years ago. Unfortunately, they haven't done the one other thing that I really want them to do, which is change the freaking reset time from 4 a.m. in America to be something reasonable for those of us who play from the
Mm.
East Coast. Like, sorry, I'm not staying up till 4 a.m. to play freaking Raid Shadow Legends Sunday before work. Just not happening. So that's the other thing they've talked about doing. They haven't done that yet. I'd love to see them have a rolling reset time so that people in other countries have a fair opportunity to participate as well. But at least we're getting the blind arena, even though frankly it's coming 4 years too late. At least we're finally getting something. So I'm happy about that.
So about changing the arena reset. So I've obviously asked about this many times as well, and we actually have gotten official reply from like Banana Jam or from multiple people multiple times, and they have always said the exact same thing. So they basically have like a consistent policy on this. They said that they are not willing to move the time or even the day. Like I was always saying that why not just put it on weekends and then maybe even if it's like bad time for NA people, they could make an
A
exception and
Saturday would
do
be
it on
better.
Saturday or
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
But the reason they said it is that, and I don't honestly, no offense, I really like the Raid community team. They are very good and very nice,
mhm,
but I don't believe what they're saying here. But they're saying that it needs to be on times when the workers are online so that they can monitor the arena, meaning that it has to be like on the early hours of like weekdays on like EU time because that's
mm,
their time. So it can't be like 10 p.m. time like in their time or it can't be on weekends.
sure.
but I don't think they really monitor it honestly. So
I probably am
maybe you
inclined to agree with you. I don't think that that's the reason why they didn't want to do it. It might be because they wanted to have people available in case something went wrong. But what I'll say is
that's what
this.
they say.
Yeah, what I'll
Yeah,
say to that is this is that you want to talk about things changing versus not changing or being told things would never change. For the record, we were told as content creators years ago that there would never be a blind arena mode. This is something that I was told specifically, like, we're never going to do it. We don't see a reason to do it. Here we are 2 or 3 years later, suddenly it's coming. Long story short, I think they're changing this because they feel they need to change it because people aren't playing as much as they were before. I just wish it had happened a long time ago. But I had a rapid fire thing for you, Shinny, but I think there was one other thing you wanted to talk about with Platinum Arena, right?
them saying that they can't, change the times because they need to have like employees online at the time. If you remember, there has been multiple arena resets where nobody actually gets the rank one trophy,
Hmm.
and they have to give it later on because like the game was bugged. And this happens like a couple days after, and people have to make tickets about this. And there has been all kinds of issues like on like during the platinum resets that I forgot about, and people make tickets later on and so on. So I don't really know if they're actually monitoring it because I feel like many people would have been banned or there would have been
Mm,
like fixes earlier and this kind of stuff if they did monitor it. But it sounds good if they are doing it. But I agree that like even back in the day, Platinum Arena was like it was very small portion of the players that were into it. And the issue is that it's so the bar to get like to be able to actually compete even remotely is so high and it
yeah,
only gets higher and higher. So high that I can't even compete and I was playing the game since start, like before my break. That yeah, there's only gonna be like less and less people competing on it. Even if the player base overall is doing fine and there's lots of people playing the game. So I guess live arena is the next thing or something like that. So
yeah. We'll see because there's lots of changes I hope they make to Live Arena that they haven't made, but God only knows
maybe
when
we
it's going
get
to
new
happen.
PvP mods.
Maybe. I mean, they have Siege, they have Live Arena, they've got Classic. I mean, there's definitely other things they could do, but you know,
Yeah.
the thing with Raid is it always takes longer for stuff to change than it really should. So I have zero expectation that anything is coming anytime soon. Hope I'm wrong though. But I got a little rapid fire round for you, Shinny, here, which is just a couple quick questions, quick answers. Here we go. Just a couple fun ones here. Favorite Raid champion of all time?
Can I have? Do I have to say one?
You can say a couple if you want. Go ahead. You're good.
Okay. If I can say three, because I'm like I have like I feel like I'm like I owe like a lot of to all of these three champions, but it
Hmm.
would be Vogot, Gala, and Rotos. Those are my favorite three. They have been carrying me a lot in like arena and other content too, and I kind of feel sentimental about those. So
Okay. Vogoth, Gala, and
Rotos,
Rotos. Not surprised. You were always a big
yeah,
Rotos dude. You had a very strong Rotos. So that makes
I
a lot of
was, yeah.
sense. And then do you have, again, just quick, a favorite raid moment for you? Could be as a content creator, could be as a player. I'm guessing it's probably as a player what it is, but you tell me. Favorite raid moment in the 5+ years you played the game.
I think it was the first time that I got top three was when I remember we had like I forgot the guy's name, but there was this guy in Mad who was like a little bit toxic and wasn't maybe my biggest fan, but he was kind of he was a little bit like antagonistic to everybody in like a chaotic way. Not
Hmm.
like he hated everybody, but he was being a jerk to everybody. And everybody was always posting about stuff they're trying and like sharing their experiences, like maybe you need to try this champion or this build and that kind of stuff. And this was like maybe like a couple weeks after the polymorph that was added into the game. And I was saying that, hey, Gala actually works against the current meta really well. I think it was because lots of teams were running Mortu Macabre,
Hmm.
and you couldn't really use AoE attacks and you needed like single target damage dealers. And I think Rotos was meta too, and Gala was like a good counter against Rotos. I think many people were running both Mortu and Rotos in defense, or at least one of them. And then I posted like a video of me like not like a public video, but like just a video for my clan mates. This was before I was doing content of me like beating many of the top players defense teams with Gala and Rotos. And then he said something like mean about it, like you will never get top 3 or something like that, and stop trying. And then I got top 3 on the next reset. That made me feel really good.
Oh, okay. So you served him a side of humble pie then. So you know he said you couldn't finish top 3, and then you did it.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting it. And like on the reset, I remember I was like super focused and I wasn't looking at the rankings. And I was just trying to get as high as I can. And my expectations were like a lot lower than top 3. I was like maybe trying to get like top 20 if I did well. And it kind of came like unexpected that I got top 3. And I remember like I had like a good defense team. I also tried something new in defense. I forgot what, but I remember the IPR players were like losing a lot to me in defense. And I had like a positive, like very positive win rate in defense. I think I
Nice.
had like I had like something crazy, like 3 losses and 16 wins in defense or something like that.
Damn, that's actually really good. That's very tough to pull off
I had the
nowadays.
pixels somewhere.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, listen, man, we've had a million camera issues during this interview, so I want to thank you for your patience, and also viewers. Hopefully, I do a decent enough job of editing this that that you're able to follow along. We'll find out, but we're gonna wrap it up here. I'll just
Yeah.
say this: so you're coming back. We'll link your channel down below so people can make sure to come back and check you out. But is there anything else you wanted to say to the Raid community that you know that you want to share with them before your formal return?
Uh not really, not really. No.
There you go. Not really. A man of few words.
No.
He's
I'm
coming
shy.
back though. He's coming back.
But
I love
yeah,
it.
but like I'm very, if you know, people that still remember me, you can like message me in my Discord if you have like any suggestions what I should do, like trying to climb and so on. I think I need to talk with a lot of people, and I need help and advice. But I guess I'm coming back to making videos. TM.
I mean, you better be coming back. That's what we made
But
the entirety
I'll
of this
make
video
videos.
is your return,
Okay,
Shitty.
okay, okay, okay. I have multiple videos that I like. I have like ideas that I already wrote down, so I'm definitely coming back. Like I
There
have
you
some
go.
video ideas, but I haven't been actively playing, so I still need to like it will take a lot of work to actually be like in the game again. Let's say.
Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to following along and glad to have you back, man. I hope your break was good. Hope you're re-energized. Guys, again, I'm going to link Shitty's channel down below so you can check him out. Hopefully this video will come out before his first video comes out, and we'll make it kind of a grand announcement. But it was nice to get an idea of where you've been, Shitty, and why you left for a little bit, and also why you're coming back. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. Such a pleasure to have you on the channel. And I know personally, I look forward to following your journey and to seeing if you can get back into those high platinum ranks with how much Raid has changed. We'll have to do a follow-up video in a couple months when I'm not
Yeah,
having so many,
we'll see about that.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what you think. But when I'm not having so many camera issues, and we could talk and hear what your experience has been. But you're here to hear first, guys. Shinny's coming back. I'm excited to see. And dude, just want to thank you again for your time. So thank you so much for being here, Shinny. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you managed to watch the entirety of this interview, I appreciate you greatly, especially with the camera issues. But thanks for sticking around. And otherwise, we'll see you on a video soon. This has been a Big Papa Drock and Shinny, and we are out.